salsa. I promised I would bring you along for a garden salsa a couple videos ago when I picked a bunch of garden vegetables, and today's the day. I've got 6 pounds of tomatoes ready to go. We've been eating tomatoes on everything, and now it's time to do some canning. And so the first thing I always can for the year, tomato-wise, is salsa, because we go through a lot of it. I just canned a ton of salsa and it's almost already gone, so it doesn't take us very long. This is going to be a chipotle mango salsa. I've got 2 fresh mangoes here. I've got peppers out of my garden, both jalapeno and holy moly peppers, which is kind of a mild to spicy pepper, very rich in its depth of flavor, and I saved the seeds out of these. I've got 2½ onions, or actually a little over a half, almost 3 onions, 1 zucchini, 1 yellow squash that I seeded, a can of chipotle peppers, and we've got our apple cider vinegar, cilantro, salt, pepper, oregano, garlic, and I mean a ton of garlic. I've probably got 1/3 of a cup of garlic ready to go. And it can't be easier because it's all going in the food processor. So I take the core out of my tomato. You do not have to, oh, and they're beautiful. Look how red, gorgeous. You don't have to seed them if you don't want to. It's really up to you. These are going to cook down a little bit, so even if they're a little watery, because these are all off my early girl tomato plants, so they are not dry like a Roma would be. But they're pretty good tomatoes. I love them. I should have planted more of these because we really have enjoyed having tomatoes so early. For us, this is early. We're in mid-August, and it does. Okay, so I'm gonna get these all wazzed up in the food processor, and then we're gonna put this in my Cuisinart contour pot. This is a 12-quart stock pot. I get asked all the time whenever I use my Cuisinart contour pots, and I absolutely love them. So I'll try to remember to leave a link in the About section below, and let me know, guys, if you've got one of these, how you love it, because it shines up like a mirror, and it's got a heavy bottom. It cooks very evenly. I really like them. So there you go. As soon as I get the tomatoes wazzed up, everything is going to go in here, and it's kind of like a chunky restaurant style almost. And I'm following the guidelines out of the Ball Complete Guide to Home Preserving and Canning, their zesty salsa recipe. The only thing different that I'm adding is the zucchini and the mango. Now the mango is a high acid, so I don't really have to worry about that. But the zucchini and the yellow squash, I am going to add additional vinegar and lemon to compensate for that. I've been making this salsa for, gosh, probably 25 years, and it's just one of our very favorites. We love it. So let me throw some peppers in this bundle here. Just everything goes right in. It's pretty easy. Some mangoes. You got your, and the mangoes are slippery. Anybody notice that? We've got our yellow squash. Just start dropping for chopping. Okay? As soon as I get this all done and in the stock pot, then I'll start adding the other spices, and I've got cilantro here. A full bundle of cilantro goes in there. Oregano, lemon juice, cumin, gotta have that. I'll bring you back when I'm adding all that, okay? All right, guys, I've got my pot about halfway full, and it looks beautiful. It's red. It's absolutely perfect. Now it's time to start seasoning, and first thing I'm going to add is cilantro. And put that, clean that over there. And The recipe that I'm using as a guide calls for 1.25 cups of apple cider vinegar. And because I probably got double of what they said, I mean, or maybe not double, about 1.5 times, we're gonna put 2.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. And give that a big zhuzh. And what happens is it becomes more liquid. So you are gonna have to cook this down a little bit before you can it. Otherwise it really becomes, here's a chunk I don't want in there. It doesn't stay that restaurant style anymore. I do want a little bit of texture in there. And I do taste testing along the way because I don't want to get it too vinegary, but yet I do want to make sure that we've got a little bit. That's good. Now, lemon juice. And I'm going to add, after I take this out, I don't know if I can. There we go. Because I love lemon, or you could use lime. You want to make sure that you use bottled lemon juice. So 1 cup of lemon juice is going in here. That's also adding acid to this recipe. That does not call for it in the book for this particular recipe, but I'm adding it because I want the acidity, number one, for flavor, but also for canning purposes. Okay. See, I really like it. Okay. Wow. It tastes wonderful. And I haven't even added the seasonings yet. So let's get our measuring spoons. We need to add salt. We've got oregano, cumin, and because it's not hot, I am going to add some red pepper flakes because we like it spicy. Now you have to be careful because canning, as it sits on the shelf, it'll get hotter. So you don't want to put too many. You want to make a medium salsa if you like it hot. You want to make it mild to medium if you like a medium. Well, this is Mexican oregano, and that's probably 2 tablespoons, maybe. Just crunch that on up. That's all I have. And we won't fit in there, so this is cumin. I love cumin in salsa. And we don't have to worry about the spices, okay? It's just the vegetables that are in there. So 3 heaping tablespoons of that. Now we've got kosher salt here. 1, 2, 3. And that, you've got to have salt, black pepper, and these are all heaping. 1, 2. And let's do, we're not going to measure this one. We're going to guesstimate. 1, 2 red pepper flakes. Woo, it's going to be spicy. No, it's going to be great. Okay, so now I'm going to taste test one more time after I get this all stirred in. And I'll taste again after it's simmered on the stove and everything's had a chance to get to know each other. Because the garlic's raw, you know, there's raw, everything's raw right now. So let's get one more spoon. Let's see what we got. I say it's perfect. Little chipotle smokiness in the background, but it's not overwhelming at all. I definitely get the cumin. I feel like that's perfect. Salt level's good. The acidity is delicious. I think we're ready to go to the stove. So I'm going to take this over to the stove. Once it comes up to a simmer, I'm going to let it simmer for ½ an hour. And then I'm going to can this in quart jars. So those quart jars are going to process for 55 minutes, partly because of my altitude, partly because they're quart jars, not pints. So you do the math any way you want. I suggest if you're new to canning that you follow an exact recipe that's been tested. I've tested this one over the years because I do it every year. But just giving you an idea of what to do with your home garden stuff. And oh goodness. And the mango, it adds a little sweetness, but it's not in the forefront either. I just like to add it whenever we can. All right, I'll be back. You know what? I'll be back when I'm labeled. So I thought I'd just cut, ow, those jars are hot. I thought I'd cut to the chase. Our sauce is over here to the side, and it is fantastic. It reduced down by about an inch in the stock pot, and I still have, it made a lot. I still have at least a half, I'm guessing I'm gonna get 6 or 7 quarts out of this. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm guessing. We had a little bit with lunch, and it's just beautiful. Wait till you see how pretty, and it tastes fantastic. Letting it cook lets all the spices get to know each other, and oh my goodness, there you go. So we're gonna fill these quart jars to a ½ inch of headspace, because we're water bath canning. We don't need that 1 inch headspace, which I've never seen a recipe for pressure canning that's less than an inch of headspace. So that's why I say that. Beautiful. And I do have my handy dandy jar mitt. It only really works for taller jars. It really doesn't work for jars, and that looks perfect. I've got a damp cloth here, or a damp napkin with vinegar, and I just wipe the rim of my jar. I'm using a combination of lids today. I've got I'm gonna put this over here. I've got Tadler lids, as well as one of the Orchard Roads. And for those of you that I promised to tell you how the Orchard Road lid did in the last canning session, it did seal, and it's still sealed. I wanted to give it a week or so. So maybe the failure rate was not that bad. But 50% on the first one was certainly not good. So I'm using those lids in caution, one at a time. I don't mind having to put one in the refrigerator, but okay, so these are Tadler lids, and they have a gasket here. I put boiling hot water over top of these. I'm gonna center that on my jar. And I've got my handy dandy jar mitt here. You're gonna tighten, and then you're gonna back off a smidge, that's it, a smidge. And then when they come out of the canner, these are the old Tadlers. The new Easy Seal Tadlers, you don't have to do that. You just tighten them, finger tight, and you're good to go. I found that a lot of times these work that way too, because I've forgotten a couple of times to tighten them, and they still seal. I have had very little failure rate with these. So in the canner, this goes, and look how beautiful here. It's gonna rest with the other hot jars. I have my other jars are in the canner right now, in the hot water, not boiling, about, oh, I don't know, 180 degrees hot to keep the jars hot. And so we'll see how many we get. I'll bring you back. And we're gonna water bath can those, don't forget, 55 minutes. Holy cow, that's a long time. That's enough time to make dinner. Okay guys, so we're in the middle of dinner. This is processed. So what I'm gonna tell you is, I simmered all that sauce down for 30 minutes, and a pretty rapid evaporative simmer is what I call it. So you know that there's evaporation going on with the extra liquid, and it condensed down about an inch. And I did add, though, I felt like it was still too watery just because of the variety of tomatoes that I had. Even though this is always my first of the canning season salsa, I went ahead and added, like I usually do, 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste. And it's okay to do that. It's already been canned, it can be canned again. And so then I water bath canned this, and once it came up to a boil, I timed it for 55 minutes, and that's because of my altitude and because there's quart jars and all that. So that's what I always do. And then it's been sitting here for 10 minutes. And now I'm gonna go ahead and take the jars out. I'm so excited. We've got dinner over here, so you'll have to excuse that. We've got Tadler lids as well as regular lids. And I got 7 quarts out of this. Guys, look at that. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's gorgeous. My husband's super excited. He did the taste test and it won the taste test for the first canning session of the year. Now, the Tadler lids, I will have to tighten them down. But here we go. 7 quarts of homemade salsa. First of the year, using vegetables out of the garden, stuff I got on sale. Oh my gosh, couldn't get any better. So guys, I hope if this inspires you, I'll leave you an end shot picture of all of them on the counter. If it inspires you to start canning, I truly hope that you'll go get a reputable source canning book. Go online, you can get them at the library. I mean, you can get all this information for free. Don't listen to any YouTuber out there on what to do. Just use this as a guideline on procedure-wise and how easy it is. And I can't wait to see you next time. As always, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go up in the iCard above. I think it's over here. And check out what I've got for you. I'll probably leave a link to some other canning videos and you can go check it out. And I can't wait to see you next time. Leave me a comment and see what you think. All right, guys. Bye.